We've talked on the YouTube channel about LA Noire and the future of the franchise, but we want to talk about in this segment, what happened to LA Noire. And due to what happened to the game, whether we want to look at it from a positive standpoint or a negative standpoint, how does this affect the future of the franchise moving forward, and would Rockstar ever revisit this franchise to make a second game? So let's talk about it. So guys, obviously, we're not going to go through what LA Noire is, because if you're here watching this video, you know very well LA Noire and the style of game and kind of all of those things, right? Detective, thriller. It was really a relaxing game in my personal opinion. I thought that it was very relaxing to actually play. There were times though that you had to pay significant attention, but it was a very good game. I'm not going to lie. I thought that overall, for what it was, a different new IP for Rockstar, I thought it was very well done. Now, as far as the sales of this game are concerned, on the day of the game's US release, shares in Take-Two Interactive, Rockstar Games' parent company, closed up 7.75% on the day, a 3-year high for the company. The rise was attributed to the positive reviews that LA Noire had been receiving. In the last available figures from February 2012, the game had shipped almost 5 million copies. Now, part of this, guys, is Rockstar Games as a company. Any game they bring out at this point is probably going to sell a lot of copies because they just have that reputation at this point. Whether they bring out a Bully 2 at some point, they bring out a Max Payne 4, an LA Noire 2, obviously GTA or Red Dead Redemption, or a brand new IP like LA Noire was, I think that we can probably rest assured that they're going to do pretty well. According to NPD Group, LA Noire was the best-selling game in the United States in May of 2011 at 899,000 copies across the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. LA Noire went straight to the top of the UK charts and became the fastest-selling new intellectual property in the UK, a record it held until the 2014 release of Watch Dogs. It stayed top of the UK game chart for 3 weeks. In Australia, video game stores in major cities reported that the game was going out of stock after a week. LA Noire was released in Japan on July 7th and sold a combined 71,057 units on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The PlayStation 3 version topped the chart with 58,436 units sold, and the Xbox 360 version moved 12,621 units. So what we can say about that, guys, is with LA Noire, it's been a long time since we saw a sequel, which Rockstar Games has been known to take a long time for sequels, right? I mean, this game came out a number of years ago, and we're still waiting for a possible sequel, or will we see a sequel? Rockstar has stated that they would be interested in a or in a LA Noire 2. But the question is will we ever see that? Will we see a second game in the franchise when they have these other big juggernaut games like that of GTA and Red Dead in particular, but also even Max Payne? LA Noire as a new IP did incredibly well. I'm hoping that they don't completely put it on the wayside. I think when we can talk about like what happened to LA Noire is that really it's just on the back burner at this point, and it's probably something that Rockstar has been kind of revisiting. However, the game was very expensive to make according to Rockstar. Now, as far as a possible sequel is concerned, on May 22nd, 2011, McNamara said that a sequel to LA Noire would take less than 5 years it took to develop the first, as the technology already exists. He also stated that they were considering using the motion scan technology for full body performances rather than only faces. The same week, in an investor conference call, Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick said that LA Noire was a very successful release and that they have every reason to believe that LA Noire is another strong franchise for this company. He reiterated that they do see LA Noire as a powerful new franchise. So that's telling you right there, there is a significant chance that we could see a second one just because of the success of this first game. Obviously, it looks like they're working on GTA 6 at this very moment and maybe a Max Payne 4 after that. But LA Noire 2 might not be too far down the road, and it might be, a lot closer than you might think. Now, during an investor call in November of 2011, Zelnick reiterated the importance of the game to Take-Two, stating that the game has become an important franchise for the company. He announced that the game was Take-Two's most successful new release in the past fiscal year and has become a key property in its portfolio. Also in November 2011, it was announced that McNamara's next game would be titled Whore of the Orient, described as one of the great untold stories of the 20th century. It was to be developed by KMM Interactive Entertainment, a studio set up by Kennedy Miller Mitchell after acquiring most Team Bondi assets in 2011, but was confirmed to be canceled on June 2016. Now, you got to take this with a pinch of salt, guys, because of how long ago these investor calls were. I mean, we're looking November 2011, guys. I mean, we're in 2020 at this point. So you got to look at it from the standpoint of it was a long time ago. And then we're going to go 1 year after that. On February 13, 2012, Rockstar Games announced numerous fan questions about their games, including a question regarding the future of the LA Noire franchise. Rockstar said that they are considering what the future may hold for LA Noire as a series, adding that they don't always rush to make sequels. They also announced that no further DLC or additional content will be developed for the current edition. In March of 2013, Carl Slatiff, Chief Operating Officer of Take-Two Interactive, revealed that the company has an extensive pipeline of unannounced titles in development and mentioned that the LA Noire franchise was important to the company. So, if we think about this, LA Noire 2 very well might already be in very early development. Because when Carl Slatiff said this, I mean, this was back in March of 2013, so this was a while back. Now, maybe he was talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. He was talking about, GTA 6, or he was talking about Bully 2 or Max Payne 4. It's very hard to say, but I think what we can expect, guys, is, generally speaking with Rockstar Games, they take their time with making games. It's just a fact. They take their time, right? They announce something, and usually a couple years later it comes out, and then they take a year or so off, and then another game comes out, or is announced, and then, a couple years after that it comes out. So they really just tend, more now than ever, to take their time. And so I think, guys, what happened in LA Noire is that it wasn't like it just self-destructed, or it wasn't like something that, was a bad release for Rockstar Games. It was a very positive release for them, but it's also a franchise that's going up against, the likes of GTA 6 or GTA as a whole, Red Dead Redemption, Max Payne. There's only so much that you can do against some of those juggernaut franchises that Rockstar also owns. Now, if LA Noire was being developed by some smaller studio, we probably would have seen a couple of more games at this point. It's hard to say, but I really believe that if you have this really good, successful game, Rockstar is just that big of a company that they can, they just take their time and they just try to really make games to the best of their ability, and they come up with games that are knocked out of the park. That being said, though, guys, I think an LA Noire 2 is probably a couple of years away at least. But it's hard to say. I mean, maybe, the game that hasn't been announced yet by Rockstar is LA Noire 2. I think everything's pointing to GTA 6, though. So, for those of you who love LA Noire, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, but I think it's definitely something that might be closer than you think. What do you guys want to see, though, in LA Noire 2 and the future of LA Noire? And what do you guys think happened? Do you guys think that this is a franchise that is being worked on? Do you guys think it's not being worked on? Let me know in the comment section below. And for more LA Noire 2 based content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.